Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Monday Sound Stream. Today is going to be an adventure, and we're going to learn things together. It's a learning stream. It's an adventure. Um,
Was this episode Mr. Rogers?
you know what? It might be an episode of Mister Rogers. I did switch from shoes to slippers when I came inside the house today, so maybe it is
Hey,
a
I'm
Mister Rogers.
Sounds all good, by the way.
I think so. I think we're coming in clear. Anyways, are we coming in clear? Go silent, wait for the answer. I'll just introduce our wonderful co-anchors. Is that my new phrase I'm using? I don't know what to call you guys. Hey, it's Ryan, the Dark Claw 643.
I always say co-host.
Hello, everybody.
Co-hosts, yeah, I mean that's good too. The Fighter Cows. That's your name. God, we're already off to a great start. I'm already forgetting the names of people I talk to constantly.
Who are you people?
Who are any of us?
Oh, so, Prop Sue. Oh, what's her name? The main actress of Gwyneth Yao, right?
Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh up there. I'm thinking of it.
Don't know where you got Gwyneth.
You got Gwyneth.
I think I was mixing so many actors in my head. For winning the Oscars and winning Best Actress.
Okay, so like last night's Oscars was like the best Oscars I've seen in a long time. And considering I hadn't watched them in like 3 years, that was a good way to come back. I guess in general, because I'm just gonna like side tangent on the Oscars. I think that it was a pretty good night. Like I felt like everybody that like won felt like people I wanted to win. I was rooting for Angela Bassett to win Best Supporting Actress, but Jamie Lee Curtis, deserves an award for the career she's had and not.
I can't believe she never won. I can't believe she never won an award before.
She never was even nominated before at the Oscars.
Really?
Because the Oscars hate horror, and Jamie Lee Curtis has spent a lot of time in horror.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was talking to my uncle about earlier this morning. He said the same. My mom was asked the same question. He had the same answer.
Mm-hmm.
The academies hate horror and comedy, and guess what? She started boasting.
In the same camp, I think that Angela Bassett, also was her first time nomination, and also gets stuck because she's in genre stuff. But I like that Jamie Lee Curtis kind of attributed her award win not to herself, but to everybody working in genre, film and TV, and I think that was really great. Jamie Lee Curtis's speech, she kept using the phrase "We won an Oscar," not "I won an Oscar." At the very end, she ended it with like "I won an Oscar," but she was, kind of congratulating the people that have helped her through her career and all of her fans and everything. And just in general, like I think that was some good speeches. But the heartwarming moments of the evening was like Ki Hui. That was I was actually crying because he was crying too. He was so he couldn't believe it. Like it was like a dream come true. And I think whoever set up who was presenting awards did a really good job. Because what was it? They had Halle Berry present Michelle Yeoh with the Best Actress award, which I think everybody expected Michelle Yeoh to win, and Michelle Yeoh absolutely deserved to win, and I'm glad she did. But the thing is that always shine the spotlight on the failings of the movie industry. Michelle Yeoh is the second woman of color to win an Oscar for Best Actress, and the first one was Halle Berry, who was the one presenting it. So it was really cool that they had like that connection, but it's also like, geez, it's the 95th Oscars. Can we get some people of color winning more awards? Anyways, thoughts on that? Anybody?
Props to Guillermo del Toro for winning Best Animation for Pinocchio.
Guillermo del Toro for sure. Oh, Harrison Ford presenting Best Picture, I think, was also because they had a feeling Everything Everywhere All at Once would win, and Ki Hui Kwan just like ran up and gave Harrison Ford a jiggled kiss on the cheek, and it was adorable, and my heart warmed.
Also, Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
For The Whale, yes.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see The Whale, nor did I want to see The Whale, but I just wanted Brendan Fraser. I just wanted Brendan Fraser to win.
I heard it's a great movie, but it's like really depressing.
Yeah.
It's like after last year's like, okay, this Oscars we're gonna be heartwarming and wholesome for once.
Mm-hmm. I liked anytime anytime the Daniels came up to accept an award, because they're just like these two guys. I'm like, you guys are still in your like college filmmaking phase, and here you are at the Oscars. It's great.
It's great to see Brendan win because especially after all the events he went through during the 2010s, it's great to see him come out on top here.
Yep.
It's great to see.
Oh, absolutely. And I got to give credit to Jimmy Kimmel hosting for not everything. He wasn't like the best host ever, but I think he was definitely serviceable, and he didn't take up too much time. Like the nice part was the awards kept flowing instead of having these weird like random comedy bits in between every award. They actually just were like, award, minor presentation of the best picture nominee.
No
award.
No Chris Rock segment here.
Exactly. Everybody's jokes stayed pretty. It was pretty much everybody's like the jokes that were made were mostly
All
about
tasteful.
people's work, not like their personal lives.
Mhm.
I think Jimmy Kimmel roasted Steven Spielberg a little too much over The Fabelmans, though. Maybe just a little. Just maybe a little too much. But for the most part, I think it worked out. Miteki T mentioned it. Tom Cruise and James Cameron weren't there because they weren't nominated in actor and director, and I think they took that personally.
I'm surprised Top Gun Maverick didn't win anything because that was such a
it
love
won
movie.
sound.
Sound, okay.
Yeah. Avatar only won VFX. But yeah, I mean, the point I was making about Kimmel's jokes, he had a couple good ones. He mentioned Batgirl, and he made this joke. He's like, Batgirl, the first superhero to be defeated by an accountant, which was good. And he slammed the Academy a couple times too. There was he was like, James Cameron isn't here because the Academy didn't nominate it for director. What, did they think he was a woman? That was a good slam.
Oh.
Somebody won for women talking. I think it was for adapted screenplay, and she also was like, I'm surprised that I got an award for a movie that had the words women and talking so close to each other. Yeah, Andrew Garfield was there, and he had there was this face of his, because they were like, we have a crisis team, and if anyone wants to come up on stage because of a joke, you have to fight through this crowd of people, and he was like, Michelle Yeoh is here, and the Mandalorian's here, and Spider-Man's here, and Andrew Garfield's just like, not me. I'm not fighting anybody.
Can you show pictures on the screen, Soundout?
I can, yes.
I found one Gundam related meme you might want to show.
All right.
Just this one actually is related to Gundam, and
I don't know. I imagine Andrew Garfield just repeating the quote from TASM 2. It's like,
oh wait,
is it Spider-Man? It could be Spider-Woman.
Yeah. Everything Everywhere All at Once was the big winner. 7 awards. It didn't win everything it was in the category for, but it won Best Picture, Director, Original Screenplay, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress. So it was most of the major categories, and then it winning Best Picture was great. And I'm really happy. I haven't seen RRR because it's a 3-hour and 5-minute movie, but its main song Natu Natu won the Best Original Song.
I heard nothing but praise for that movie.
Okay, so that's what that's for. Natu Natu.
Natu Natu. Yeah, it was.
I was thinking of the Pokemon Natu.
Right. I thought it was really, really. It was the performance of it was really good too. One thing that did bug me, they kept mispronouncing Rihanna's name.
Oh, really?
I heard Rihanna too many times in one evening. Oh, like I wanted to scream. Please ignore all the stuff going on screen while I'm setting up this image. Anyways, Kels wanted to share this meme with us.
Yeah, no, you.
The movie Natu Natu is in. It's called RR. It's on Netflix. It's a Bollywood film. It's 3 hours and 5 minutes. I haven't watched it yet.
RR, I heard is pretty much from what I hear, it's pretty much a live action anime. From people tell me.
Yeah, it looks super crazy. All right, so let me.
I love Justin for Jason. Andrew Garfield should quote Toby saying, "Oh, I missed that part where that's my problem."
Yeah. His face said it all. Yeah, no. What was it? Kimmel and Kimmel and the British voiceover lady both said Rihanna, and I was like, it's Rihanna. Don't say Rihanna wrong. And the thing is luckily right before Rihanna performed, Denai Guerrero was like, and now I present Rihanna. Like, she put the emphasis on it. Anyways, here's a Gundam meme for you Zeta Gundam folks. Camille, my child. Now you're a man. You must choose a wife and retire. Childhood friend who take care of you couldn't use the bathroom, is super cute and is mentally stable. Or you'll pick maniac pixie dream girl diagnosed with terminal plot progression. Quickly, help our good friend Camille Badon make up his mind and choose his future wife. You can make the difference. All right, I think we're going with maniac pixie dream girl diagnosed with plot progression.
That's what he did.
That's how it has to be. There's no way around that. Anyways, yeah. So I'm trying to think of anything else from the Oscars because it was a pretty good show. I'm trying to think. I thought Jimmy Kimmel needed to stop making jokes about the Will Smith incident. He kept beating that horse dead.
Is one of those we get it kind of scenario.
The best gag about the thing was that at the end of the show they show like Kimmel walking off stage and he goes up to a board and it says Oscars telecast without incident, and he switches it from 0 to 1. And I thought that was the funniest gag to make about it. By 100%. That was really good.
My favorite part, I think one of my favorite comments I saw on Twitter with people about reacting to winners is for Pinocchio winning. It's like this. So does this mean Jack pick Pinocchio one up Jack Warner again?
Yes, it did. Pinocchio outstaged Jack Horner one more time. It was really cool. I mean, they had Antonio Banderas and Selma Hayek out presenting too, which was great. And I really do think the presentation of the whole thing was good. Yeah, Muteki T mentioned the bear. The bear gag was fun. I feel bad for that one activist lady that got attacked by the bear. That's the kind of fun stuff I like to see from the Oscars, not stuff that's like, let's make fun of people's personal situations. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Smith the Crow says, one of my friends was expecting some kid to come out on stage during the Best Picture presentation like that one kid did at the end of the Game Awards.
Yeah.
You know what?
Oh,
in a pre Chris Rock making horrible joke world, that could have happened. But now I can guarantee you there was no way you're up on that stage unless you're supposed to be.
God, yeah, I was like both the Chris Rock and that situation. I think there's gonna be more happening
in the Warner Brothers promo. Yeah, that wasn't made by Warner Brothers. I don't think. I think the Academy was like, "Hey, Warner Brothers, your studio is a founding pillar of this industry. Why are you destroying it?" That's what it felt like. They were like, "Let's do this montage showing how great Warner Brothers is." And yeah, it did end with a shot of Ezra Miller Flash, but there was a shot from Zack Snyder's Justice League in there. So I don't think it was done by Warner Brothers themselves. I think somebody else cut that together.
Speaking of DC, for DC's releasing the DC Book of Pride later this year.
Yes, they are. I did not have time to look at the solicitations for it, so I don't have thoughts on it yet.
I was like, I'm definitely looking forward to it because I think
DC's Pride books are usually really good.
It's one of those you were talking about, like which of the two have better like Pride characters. I definitely think DC is the better of the two.
For the last 2 years, DC and Marvel both put out Pride Month issues, and I think DC's have been categorically better than Marvel's both times. Which I think is good.
If you want to cry, was it last year that had the Kevin Conroy Pride story in the Pride issue?
Yeah. Kevin Conroy did one last year.
If you want to cry, read the Kevin Conroy one from last year. It's such a great, it was such a sweet story you wrote.
Common Jojo asks if we're Assassin's Creed fans. I'll just say I am, but if you want to ask me more about it, we talk video games on Fighter Cows' stream at twitch.tv/FighterCows, Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Do you have a link for that we can put in the chat?
I'm sure Cows can get it for us because that would be easier.
So if anyone wants to ask video game questions, come by tomorrow.
Come by
on
tomorrow
Cal-
on Kaus's stream. Come give them viewership. Come ask us video game things. I will tell you everything about the Assassin's Creed franchise you could ever want to know. But tomorrow. Not today. Unless it's Assassin's Creed toys, which there aren't any. Which is a shame.
I think
there were by NECA when the first 2 games came out. But
NECA, McFarlane did weird 5-inch ones. And there's been a couple others, but there's no current line. Okay. If Super7 does Space Ghost figures, Soundout should do a skit where he interviews Ultra 7. Yeah, if they make a Space Ghost, I will just have him interviewing everybody.
Mateki T, is the Tonkinator worth for $75?
$75. It is a G1 Devastator. There is still diecast in it.
Does it combine?
It does combine. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think 75 is decent.
I'd say so.
The one I bought for my dad, which I showed in the Legacy video, because he was a big Tonka fan as a kid. So he was like all over that.
Oh, I had Tonka growing up too.
I think I paid $49 for his, and that was pretty good. All right, Brian's asked twice to explain my love for Batman Returns. Okay, we're gonna do this now.
Before we go into that, is the Jazzwares Space Ghost figure over a decade ago? There you go, act any good? It was good for its time.
He's still standing. He hangs out my DC display. He hasn't fallen over.
He's definitely he definitely works better with your DC Universe classics than say multiverse figures. I would love if McFarlane or NECA or someone make it like an 8-inch scale.
By the way, we totally like went into Oscar talk and didn't do shout-outs in the chat. It's a little late for that, but like hello everybody in the chat.
Spin Dash, Brian, Muteki, Zeltrek, LPH, Jason, Sig,
SC6,
Common Jojo, Matt. And I think that's it.
All right, cool. Let's talk Batman Returns for a minute. I will be brief about this because I could go on for hours and hours and hours about this movie. So, reason why I love Batman Returns. First things first, there's not much Batman in it, but that is as a facet of Tim Burton Batman movies because it happened in '89 Batman as well, where the Joker was the main, the Joker is essentially the protagonist of '89 Batman. Because he's the one that's pushing the plot forward.
What's interesting is even though Returns less Batman, I think I like Bruce more in Returns than I did '89.
Bruce in Returns is lonely, and he's made him put himself into a state of solitude. But he is kind of a factor of Selena Kyle's story more than anything, and that's just a thing with Tim Burton. Like he just focused on the villains more because of Shigs. Shigs or Sigs, either or. Okay, now we got a pronunciation. Thank you. If we ever mispronounce a username, anybody just tell us.
Please correct us.
Yeah. We're good at we take
the English language stinks.
Yep.
And then you add Greek to the mix, and your chance of pronouncing it right drastic go down.
Yes.
And if you don't get that reference, you're not a wrestling fan. Exactly.
We do not want to be like Jimmy Kimmel mispronouncing Rihanna's name on live TV. All right, so anyway, so Batman Returns, it does focus on the villains more because don't worry about it. Now we know, and now we'll know for the future.
Yeah.
We always move forward. So anyways, Batman Returns. So what I like about it is that it is this nice villain study of Penguin and Catwoman are seen as the two main villains, but the main villain of that movie is Max Schreck.
It's Christopher Walken.
Yeah, it's Christopher Walken just doing a great performance. Christopher Walken is the villain of that movie. He's the one that pushes Selena Kyle out the window. He's the one that sets up the Penguin for failure. He's the villain, right?
Even though the movie takes place in the 80s or 90s, I like to think this is a sequel to Country Bears. I like to think Christopher Walken's character in Country Bears is the same character.
Okay, but here's the thing: is at some point, Christopher Walken just is Christopher Walken, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Brian brings up a lot of good points. He says, "Why is Penguin bouncing in a children's car? Because it's a comic book movie. It's silly sometimes." What's the black stuff in Penguin's mouth? The ink of the page bleeding. There, those are two answers. It's supposed to be because the guy grew up in like chemical waste sewers.
Well, because the Paul Rubens threw
Threw
baby
him in the river.
In the river, and it probably
Yep.
just landed to toxic. Since this has got them, they're toxic sludge everywhere.
Exactly. There are a lot of silly aspects of that movie. I really appreciate the line.
DJ, never forget the DJ moment.
The DJ moment is so 90s. The Catwoman going, I haven't been fed all day, and Batman throwing her into a floor going, eat floor, high fiber. That is some goofy comic book stuff.
Can we talk about the smile?
It could be worse.
Can we talk
My
about
nose
the
is bleeding.
smile
Yeah,
Keaton gave?
your nose could be gushing blood.
Can we talk about the smile Keaton gave when he put that dynamite for that one Doug?
The smile
Wait, gleefully murdered that guy?
Yes. Because like he blew up a whole oil rig full of dudes in the first 89 Batman. Like he nukes an oil rig. There was not people making it out of that.
He had no chill.
Oh yeah, no chill.
Since Keaton's definitely supposed to be Flashpoint Batman in the new Flash movie, it makes sense,
Yeah. Adding to that, so the thing that really sells that movie for me too is the atmosphere that is created from the fact that Batmania was so high they couldn't shoot any of the movie outdoors, and the entire film was done on soundstage. The Gotham City we see, the Gotham City we see in Batman was built outdoors, but for Returns they had to keep it so secret that everything's on a soundstage, which means everything has a matte painting behind it.
Yeah, I think I would still say Returns probably has the best Gotham. Gotham with the Batman being in second.
Which part are you remembering, Jerry?
I don't remember if it was you who told me that about it being so secret, or if I learned it on like a DVD extra or something.
I know they talked about it in the DVD extras, and I talk about it a lot because I think that just that the secrecy was crazy, because like they would actors had to walk between sets, and they were putting like full-on blankets over them so that paparazzi wouldn't get any glimpses of anything.
Imagine they did this. Imagine only Sony did this for No Way Home.
Why though? It was like what, an actor blabbed, or the first movie was so popular they were like, no, we're not doing
the first movie was so popular they did not want anything getting out. It was the first movie to actually worry about spoilers. Like legit, the first movie that has ever cared so much about secrecy and spoilers. And Warner Brothers wanted the press tour of that movie to be on their terms and not the tabloids. Because that's
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyways, the result of that is you get a movie that looks like a comic book, because everything is painted, everything is constructed. It looks more like a comic book kind of come to life. And I think in a way that no other movie no other comic movie has done that, to be honest. It's not these characters existing in the real world. It's you're watching a comic book come to life. And that's why you get all those really goofy moments.
I forget, did you like the Nolan stuff or no? Because
I'm 50-50.
Are we talking about set design or just general movie quality?
Nolan also in general, because
you
mentioned how it looks like comic book, and that was like a thing. I remember me and a lot of people didn't hate Nolan, but also were like, it's not really a comic book movie.
Yeah, Nolan like doesn't like comic books, and I don't know why the hell he did a Batman trilogy.
Exactly.
I like Batman Begins the most out of the three, to be honest.
No, Batman Begins, I don't like the fight scenes in Begins because that shaky cam is obnoxious. But I think it's the best. Begins is the best. Like this, it's the only of the Nolan shit I feel like I'm watching a Batman movie instead of crying drama. A crying drama.
Right.
Did you ever have PS2?
I played the Batman Begins.
I had it on GameCube.
Yeah. It was pretty much a proto Arkham.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't like Christopher Nolan's movies most times. So I mean, it's just like I just
technically Nolan's worst mistake.
Yeah.
I that's why I always say the Batman is probably the best of the modern films, because it's still like it's a crime drama, but also still a comic book movie.
Yeah, the Batman merged the two styles, like because the Nolan Schumacher movie or the Burton Schumacher movies, those are very comic book, and they get more comic book as time progresses. And then the Nolan movies are like really realistic, and then the Batman's like somewhere in the middle. It's like it's found the sweet
Happy
spot.
medium.
Happy medium. Yeah, that's the perfect phrase.
I still love the movies. That movie is more funny than I think people gave it credit for.
Oh yeah,
Dumb drive.
On that note,
should we get to
Matt in the chat says, was the penguin in this movie a good representation of the character to us? The thing is about like any of these characters, I don't know if I'm the best one to answer that because I don't worry about if a character, like the thing is I take every adaptation as its own thing, right? So I would probably if the Penguin in Batman Returns was suddenly the Penguin in the comics, I'd probably have a big problem with it. But because that is that world's Penguin, I just kind of accept it as that world's Penguin.
Because because when it comes
I do think Colin Farrell's a more accurate Penguin, though.
Well, that's the thing. There's two Penguins, pretty much. You get the more monstrous Penguin, like Returns, and then you get a pure crime boss Penguin. So there's really two different Penguin. It's like almost like the Three Jokers, where you get three different. You get the mastermind or the criminal. The criminal, the comedian, and what's the third one? It's the comedian, the criminal, and was it the mastermind?
I'm looking at the figures and I can't remember what the third one is.
Chat, help us out.
Yeah, if anybody knows the three Jokers. Smith the Crow says, "What is more than one booth? Booth or Beeth? Booths or Beeth?" I'm gonna go with Beeth because that sounds funny.
The game.
Shig says Shig says I personally can't get into Returns because of how weird a lot of it is. Maybe I need to give it a rewatch. I'd give it a rewatch, going with the mentality that it is a very comic book movie and that some of it is really dark and then some of it is insanely goofy.
All right, so there is the comedian, the clown, and the criminal.
The Three clown. Jokers. That's the one I forgot.
That's what you confuse because comedian and clown could kind of interchange for me.
Yep.
A lot of times.
Muteki T loves the 1960s Penguin. I do too. Burgess Meredith was so good.
Burgess Meredith. Yeah.
Rock. Rocky.
If we talk about like underrated penguins, for me, I really like the Batman 2004 cartoon.
Oh, the Tom Kenny
penguin. Tom Kenny Batman. That's like I know people dislike he does martial arts, but like I don't care. He's too funny for me. I was like, because I think in terms of like character voices, I think Tom Kenny's Penguin's like the automatic voice I hear in my head when I read comics with Penguin in it.
No, yeah, because Tom Kenny very much has that Burgess Meredith rock kind of voice to him, but like he takes it to a new level. It's really cool. All right, we'll answer this one more question before we get on to the main topics. Common Jojo says, "What's the most comic book Spider-Man movie besides Spider-Verse?"
Spider-Man 1. I will always forever say Spider-Man 1. Because I think out of all the Raimi movies, it's the one I think balanced the camp and the drama as like a good balance of one over the other kind of thing. Also, I think it just giving that early 2000s feel kind of adds to the movie feeling more comic booky. I feel.
Oh yeah, that like post Blade era.
Yeah, I don't know what just the the vibe of that movie just. Out of all the Raimi trilogy, that one gives off that comic book vibe, and I think the early 2000s of it really adds to it.
Kind of like where it's more serious than Batman and Robin, but not too serious.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I the thing is that people are always like, "Oh, Blade brought in the serious comic book movie." I'm like, yeah, but it also has the line, "Some mother effers are trying to ice skate uphill." That movie's also got like a bunch of goofy one-liners too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, X-Men. X-Men's like
X-Men.
What were we expecting? Yellow jumpsuits?
Yeah, expecting yellow spandex.
What happens when a lightning hits a frog?
Same thing that happens to everything else. See, that's the thing is, a lot of modern superhero movies miss the fact that we need quotable one-liners.
Because that's kind
even if they're dumb, I want quotable one-liners.
Because I think it's funny because I feel like it got replaced by the quips.
Yep.
Of modern day stuff, but I feel like
but the problem with the quips is they're the same quips in every movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, do you think Spider-Man 1 is the most comic book Spider-Man movie?
I'd say Spider-Man 2, but all right.
All right. Yeah, Spider-Man. I'm going to give you guys the real answer. It's Amazing Spider-Man 2. Peter Parker suffers. He can't hold a relationship. His girlfriend dies. The movie's over. Stuff was set up for other things. And the overall thing is a convoluted mess. And you wonder, what the hell did I even sit through this for? And that is the experience of reading Spider-Man comics.
You are
You're right. You're
100%
really
right, actually.
It's
right.
just like the CW Arrowverse is the most accurate adaptation of DC. Because it's a giant mess where characters can't stay consistent and people constantly leave books and come back and they change writers all the time.
Inconsistent writing. I mean, frick. Remember who was it? Dick Grayson. Who's he dating?
Yep.
Oh crap!
Starfire recorded.
I said Oracle. You know, maybe the two smartest kids get those different answers.
Exactly.
The mighty shipping war. I'll say, this is what Here's a Tasman too, because I know that's another hole, but like. I'll forever say Andrew is my favorite Spider-Man actor because of Tasman 1 and 2. Because I feel like...
Oh, yeah, he's like the best Spider-Man in the weakest movies.
Yeah, I know, right? Because he just captures both the character and vibe, but also the suit acting. Because I think... I think...
It's because he's a theater kid. He knows how to emote with his body.
I think Tasman 2 probably has some of the best suit acting I've seen in a superhero movie. I can't think of any that top. I mean, of course, it's hard to set compared to nowadays, because all of it is just CG mocap suits. But even like compared to older films, like because you compare to the Toby films, Toby barely like moves in that suit at all. Dang it, that suit looks stiff, like really stiff. So, because I remember like the one key thing I always noticed with the Toby suit is every time he takes off the mask, it looks like he can finally breathe again.
Yeah, he always looks a little like uncomfortable.
All right,
well, we're going to move on to our main topics. Starting up with G.I. Joe, I'm going to ask a question to the community, because I promised to do polls.
We only need 24 polls.
Last week, we voted upon 24 polls. I'm not promising anything. I don't know how to come up with 24 polls, all right? But we're going to talk about the G.I. Joe fan stream.
You should have done like a favorite Spider-Man poll, like Toby, Andrew.
Oh, I'm not opening that can of worms. No, we're not doing a, which is the best Spider-Man.
All right, poll. Batman 89 or Returns?
We can do that one at the end. I put up a poll that is, do you like G.I. Joe? Because I'm curious.
Do you even like G.I. Joe?
If you even like it. Like, you don't have to love it, just, do you like G.I. Joe? It's a very simple question. Garzilla entered the chat to say best Spider-Man is just Josh Keaton. I do like Josh Keaton's Spider-Man. I really do.
I think for me, in terms of Spidey,
was that
Spectacular? Was Josh?
Spectacular, yeah.
I think for me, in terms of Spider-Man, it's kind of weird with Spider-Man voices, because I feel like
Gary Lowenthal's burned into my brain forever now.
Yeah, I think for me, that's the thing. With depending on the era, my Spider-Man voice changes. Like if I'm reading older comics, I hear Josh Keaton. If I'm reading newer comics, I hear Yuri Lowenthal.
Yep.
I'm not sure if that's due to the writing or in terms of how the Spideys were written. Specific eras or not, but I can't.
Brain will forever hear Greg Brady.
Oh yeah. All right, G.I. Joe time. We're gonna get back on track. I'm gonna pull the stream. We're gonna go G.I. Joe. Common JoJo says I don't like G.I. Joe, but I have like most of the G.I. Joe classified series figures.
All right.
I mean, they're really good.
Just a quick thing in terms of this comic. If you had to pick a G.I. Joe. A cartoon and comic, which one would you recommend for newbies to get into if they really want to get into G.I. Joe?
Cartoon, Renegades. Renegades is great. Renegades ended too soon. Renegades is great, though. And comic-wise, you could pick up literally any issue of Larry Hama's G.I. Joe run and have a good time. Like, that man just writes one issue at a time.
Good, or is it because it's episodic?
It's good. It's not episodic. It's insanely serialized, but he is always writing one issue at a time, so you just jump in wherever.
I find it interesting that he's still gonna keep working the books, even though the Hasbro license is up in the.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we should mention that the stream did not. Smith the Crow. Yeah, the original cartoons probably might go my second pick after Renegades, because I think the original cartoon is.
I think it's one of those. It's one of those. If you're not into '80s cartoons, then definitely Renegades. But if you
avoid Sigma 6, everyone avoid Sigma 6.
I remember
it does not age well. I promise you. I loved it as a kid. Went back and watched it. It does not age well.
Better or worse than Extreme?
I don't know. I haven't seen Extreme.
Really, you haven't.
Anyways, they didn't announce a new publisher for comics, even though Larry Hama's up to writing 303. So it's 3 comics without a new publisher.
Welcome to chat, Mass Effect fan 2007.
Yeah, G.I. Joe: Real American Hero is an amazing. It honestly, I think it's one of the better. I think. This is a hot take, but I think G.I. Joe is a better cartoon from Sunbow than Transformers.
I feel like out of all the '80s cartoons, I think G.I. Joe and Thundercats
Those are the
are.
two. Those transcend their eras really well, I think.
I know it's like I think it's one of those. I know it's hard for young people to get into this because either the pacing or the moral of the day stuff. But I think
the number of episodes.
Number of episodes, but I think.
But G.I. Joe starts with 3 5-parters.
Yeah, I think if you really like take your mind, if you just go mind yourself that this was in the '80s, different standards, I think people can really enjoy it. I mean,
and with G.I. Joe, the PSA stuff like happened after the episodes, so like the episodes themselves don't have too many like lesson of the week things.
I'm supposed to go ask, have anyone seen Mask? I haven't, but I really do love the toys.
I've seen some of it. I've seen a few episodes.
I think the problem
Gary's
I always have
singing
with Mask
the theme
is I feel
song,
like
isn't he?
I was.
Yes. I feel like the problem I have with Mask a lot of times, I feel like I always ask myself, how come this wasn't G.I. Joe?
And then later on, they corrected that mistake and were like, you know what?
Because I feel like it's one of the things where every time I see Mask, I feel like a lot of this is just pretty much G.I. Joe with a different coat of paint. Back in you can think back in the day, because it was still like what about like heroic well, it's not like it was like what spies or agents, like U.S. agents or something.
Yeah, something like that. And they had Transformer vehicles.
So it's like it's literally just pretty much if they combine G.I. Joe and Transformers together, which I feel weird because I feel like you could just incorporate one of them in those underlines.
Hey, look what they must have thought the same.
Yep. I mean, wasn't Action Masters pretty much Mask 2.0?
Pretty much. I was gonna put because there's no pictures for this, but Quick Kick, Big Boa, and Mutton Junkyard were the name only reveals. I'm gonna roll through the reveals. First of all, Tunnel Rat, one of my favorite G.I. Joe characters. Thank you, the 2000s, for making him like a thing. Tunnel Rat looks great. What do you guys think of Tunnel Rat? I don't have any thoughts besides yes.
What Tunnel Rat wasn't he in Sigma? Wasn't he one?
He was in Sigma 6. Yeah, he was in Spy Troops and Valor vs. Venom and Sigma 6.
Yeah, so that's where I'm
Renegades.
I like his accessories. I think out of all the, because I'm not sure if this one specific based off design, but I definitely think out of all the Trap Rat designs I've seen, this one's definitely the most just generic Army Man design. I feel like
it is.
I do love his accessories.
Let's move on to classic Firefly. This is a good way to solve the problem of Firefly was only at Target. Here's a more classic one. I think I still like the Target one more.
Oh yeah, I really like the Target design for Firefly.
This one has a drone though. He's got like a rolly drone. He's got a rolly drone. Who's this guy? Anyone want to help me out? Because my brain's not working. Scrap Iron? Is this Scrap Iron? No, that's not Scrap Iron.
Scarecrow?
Scrap Iron is Low Light.
Yeah.
Sigs, why do you think have more such than PR figures? We don't know.
I could come up with like theories, but honestly,
we can't even go with new mold because
we can't say it's budget. We can't say it's molding. We can't say it's licensed property versus Hasbro property because like all of those should be the same. G.I. Joe has no media. Power Rangers does. Like these are the same price. Yeah.
And I can't even say maybe they have less paint. No, they have equal amount the same paint.
Pretty much. I mean, Low Light here, he'll be a $25 figure. And he comes with a whole gun case. And then we have, oh my god, Shadow Tracker. Talk about the most obscure character they could pull out and just make a really amazing figure out of. This guy was included in the movie toy line Pursuit of Cobra.
I love. Does he have Blight's head or / Dr.
He has a skull, and then you can put extra faces on it, so you can get like a crazy little green one or like an animal skull. I love this. Is
he related to Zartan?
No, he's just he has no media support, no fiction. He just was a figure they put. He's literally
a toy line only character.
Yep, toy line only character from the movie line. Jerry, what do you think of Mr. Shadow Tracker here?
I
love his design.
I like his accessories.
Mm-hmm. I love his dreads too.
I was thinking of Shadow Man, but cooler.
I see he comes with individual arrow, which I wish McFarlane figures would come with for their archers.
All right, and then from there, we went to, here's figures they showed renders of before, but here's the final versions. Here's Copperhead. I like Copperhead. I don't think I'm super stoked for Copperhead, mind you, but I
Well,
will.
He's
that-
definitely a basic. He's definitely a
weird.
basic figure.
Yeah,
Whoever that photo knows how to do product photography.
right. Oh God, yeah. The photographers at Hasbro are great. I hope they're all still employed.
unless they're Transformers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again, G.I. Joe seems to get preferential treatment in quality. Also the packaging design
Pretty cool.
changed.
Oh, really? They changed?
Yeah, now they're doing these little banner arts and then a render of the figure and then a list of the accessories in the front, which I think is probably better than just having
Oh,
the full art piece.
that's similar to how their Fortnite figures do their
Yeah.
packaging now.
So I think that was smart because I think I think it was important to do. Here's normal Bazooka. I'm just gonna slip through him.
Cause I do love the character art because there was a really great art on them. But like I think this is better to showcase a toy, but it's not like PNG in white background land like the Lightning Collection stuff.
Yeah.
It's like actual like not environment. They're not like in space and such.
Right. Anyways, Bazooka is basically the Tiger Force Bazooka, but in his normal colors.
In like football jersey.
Football jersey. That's his thing. The G.I. Joe team are all vets. They're like, you want to go into battle with just a football jersey? Go for it. Go for it. Muteki T asks if they'll ever do the NBA players at G.I. Joe. Probably at this point. I wouldn't put it past them. Torpedo.
Why not?
Talking about your price budget. Look at Torpedo here. A $25 figure, guys.
Wow, he comes with that's like those are some big accessories for a $25 figure.
So they showed him his actual flippers are soft rubbery, so they actually flex like actual swimming flippers.
Wow, really?
Yeah. He just looks amazing. I mean, look at the photography on this too. Like Smith the Crow brings a good point. They don't come with extra hands. I think only like Cobra Commander and Sergeant Slaughter did.
Mind you, I think because
because of everything else going on.
Well, also like I think all characters make sense. Most of the time, you can have weapons in Joe's hands, not anything else. Cobra and Commander Slaughter, like the few characters need extra hands because of their iconic poses.
Anyways, this guy looks great. Here's my hyped figure of the year. It's Shipwreck.
I love the Shipwreck. He's like out of all the Joes, he's one of my favorite ones.
They did a redesign to Polly, so now she has a peg leg.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
Yeah. She has a peg leg, so she can peg into his rope or his arm. He comes with two different hair pieces. One hair piece is the hat. One hair piece is without the hat. I am very excited for this. I actually Vintage Shipwreck was the first vintage.
So where does our classify? Oh God, what was it called again? The giant playset called again?
The pit?
No, not the pit. The aircraft
flag?
carrier. The flag. What is their classified flag?
God, I don't know. Next we have Rock and Roll. Now Rock and Roll is not one of my favorite Joes. He's one of the original group. And I don't usually like him, but their redesign on him is so good.
He gives me that, stop praying for my grandfather kind of vibe.
He's getting
Yes.
Too powerful.
They gave him the devil horn hand, and they tatted him up. They just went for it with this dude. Like, I love this. This is taking like a design I didn't really care. Like, should I look up old? Let's look up vintage rock and.
He looks
roll
like he now looks like one of those like biker rocker dudes now. Like
exactly
he's like,
compared
cool...
to here's his vintage design, dude in hat.
Yeah, like now.
Nothing rock and roll about that,
right?
Yeah, then the redesign gives him this epic biker dude that's like a law-abiding citizen and fights for his country kind of vibe.
Yep, and they went into the details of the tattoos because he's also like in his bio he's also a surfer, so his helmet has Hang 10 written on it, and his tattoos are like skulls mixed with sea creatures.
Oh, that's great.
Like when they announced that they were doing Rock and Roll, I wasn't that excited, but now that I've seen them, I'm just like, yes, please. I'm here. Let's do it. SSJ4 Jason says, we need classified figures of the two kids from the Pork Chop Sandwiches PSA. Yes. I thought Super7 might do it, because they actually did PSA parody reaction figures.
It's one of my favorite things ever.
Yes.
Pork chop sandwiches.
Anyways, here's the packaging where you can see the change from Bazooka. It has the old packaging where it was mostly art. Because I think that this was art commissioned to be the wraparound. And then they've just been using that since they had to switch suddenly. But this is like the new black boxes are going to be the more common design going forward.
Again, it really shows, again, like, Fortnite did. It was still like PNG character and PNG background. This is still like, this is actual like nice toy photography of like, you kind of give.
And these are actually renders too, but these are really nice renders with nice backdrops.
Well, what I like about it, especially, it gives you the vibe of the character. Like, you can see, you look at it, you go like, oh, like, you kind of get the feel of the character by these.
I also appreciate Shipwreck's art just being him yelling.
Oh, yeah.
All right, moving on. The next reveal was Scrap Iron, who is a deluxe pack.
A giant missile.
Yeah.
I love the explosion effects. Those are some great like toy photography stuff there.
Yep. So he comes. So Scrap Iron comes with a drone, and the drone is posable and everything. This is a for reference. This is a $44.99 US price set. He's got missiles and he's got heat trails, and he comes with full accessories. And there's these explosion effects, and his head sculpt is super gnarly, where he's got like scarred stuff on him. I like this. I like this a lot.
Do you feel like you get more your money's worth for this than compared to the Lightning Deluxe figures?
I think so. This is $44.99, so he's $10 more than Blue Centurion I got recently. Yeah, no, for all the stuff you get, I think this is great. And yeah, because here's the loadout for the render. You get all that for like $45. That's not bad in Hasbro prices these days anymore. No. I'm sold. And then the other thing too is that the actual rocket trails work with other figures like Bazooka. So
that's great.
Yeah, this is great. I love when they can use accessories for other figures. Cross compatibility for sure. Then we got the Cobra Valkyrie 2-pack, which is female Cobra Troopers. And they look fantastic, and for some reason they're Hasbro Pulse exclusives.
Of course.
But there is no limit to how many you can order on Pulse, so that's a sign that they're going to try to keep these stocked better, I think. They say they're coming out in October, and I believe it, because they say October 15th, not just a generic first of the month kind of date. Really cool. I'm glad we got female Cobra Troops. I ordered 2 sets for myself, because I have no self-control.
Well, it's nice they're doing, honestly, it's nice to them to do females, because, like, it always feels like they take forever to do. I mean, like, we just got now the Murray Hill Quake body only a few waves ago for Marvel Legends, so it's nice to see that. Because Trooper packs, but then we got any like Joe Trooper packs yet?
We haven't yet, but they're coming. We saw the render for them.
Okay, because that's the thing. It feels we're getting very one-sided.
Yeah, Spin Dash. I haven't seen the G.I. Joe stock photography having any oddities with the weapons. There may be some out there, but in general, it seems like they take more care and attention to these things. Brian, I am going to do an unboxing of what I got on the Pulse sale on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. I won't say what I got here, because Wednesday, there'll be a video on that. But anyways, female Cobra Troop looked great, the Cobra Valkyries, and then there's Snow Job. Snow Job is a deluxe. He's $35, so he does come with more than usual. He comes with an extra head. That's a big thing. But the reason why he's $35, they said, is because his accessories are large.
Yeah, look at this. You have giant skis,
snowshoes, rifle, sticks. What is that? What does anyone know what the skiing sticks are called?
I think they're
poles.
I think they're just called poles.
Something like that. Anyway, so he just comes with a ton of stuff. He's also Pulse exclusive, which I think is a little weird. I think he's prominent enough. He could have been retail. But maybe retailers didn't want to pick him up at the price.
I think we're getting to the point with classified it might be getting out of retailer, because I know there's like the whole thing of maybe retailers don't want to have classified anymore kind of thing. But I think it's more of like it's less of that and more of the figure. You're getting so ambitious with these figures that I don't think there's a price range that can put them in. So they had to put
because G.I. Joe's not selling that great, right? They also accidentally leaked a figure.
Oh.
It's it looks like an ice colored Cobra bat.
Oh, that looks nice.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Oh yeah, Brian, I did make a second order on Pulse because they added stuff.
Yeah, Smith says, you know, the line's already Pulse exclusive in Europe, so like
that's true.
I won't be surprised if Joe would become a pure online exclusive.
It might go all fan channel at some point, yeah.
And I don't think that's less of other lines not popular, but it's more of like I just don't think
toy collecting in general just doesn't seem popular at retail right now. Because
Right, yeah.
of the stuff revealed, the only retail stuff was that wave of 5.
I think it's also like I think a lot if they want to keep going ambitious with classified, that I think it just can't fit. You can't convince retailers to keep holding these figures in that don't technically sell well to the general public, because I think cosplay does sell well, but to the general public, no, it's the thing. It's they're very much like Master Universe Classics, specifically Classics, is it's a line definitely meant for older fans and not really little Jimmy that's sees like, because it's not like, you know, kids don't like cool army dudes, but it's more of like there's no attachment to them. They want because
there's no media for kids either.
I think that's really the problem of.
And speaking of that, 60% said yes and 40% said no on the "Do you like GI Joe" poll. So that just shows the audience right there too. I really think if Hasbro really wants to keep Joe as a big brand, I really do think they eventually need to make a new cartoon. Yeah, there's been word that there is one in the works. You know, I know there's the whole thing like how do you do?
I just came back. I had to go to the bathroom.
I know some people go. I know there might be like, oh, how do you do like a modern day Joe cartoon with multiple cast members? I mean, just make a rotating cast. It's so easy. You know, if other shows can do it, you know, GI Joe can. Moving along, because we do need to get moving along on some news topics, because we're an hour through the stream and all we talked about is GI Joe.
Golly.
I love the GI Joe classified line, and we will talk about it more in the future. Generation Kikaider's closing. So for those that aren't aware, Generation Kikaider was a company. I'm gonna say was now. They were specifically LPH. There is a new Ghostbusters cartoon in the works for Netflix.
What?
Yes, there is. Generation Kikaider was a company in Hawaii. They're a subset of another company. There's a translation company, which from everything I can tell isn't going out of business. It's just the Generation Kikaider side. They were a company that was specifically, their goal was to bring Kikaider back to Hawaii as sort of a nostalgic throwback. And Kikaider's now 45 years old. I think the audience is just not there, and they don't want to keep printing the DVDs, because their DVDs were great. Lots of great bonus features, lots of great detail, good translations, but each set was like $100 plus. That's just due to import company, and they don't have a distribution deal, so they have to sell it themselves. So right now, if you go to Generation Kikaider's website, you can order stuff, but, you know, there's some stuff that already sold out. Like, I think you can't get the entire Kikaider series anymore. I thought about making a rush on stuff, ended up deciding not to, because it is a lot of money. And maybe other companies will step in and pick up the licenses, but, you know, don't guarantee that. If you really want anything that's still available, go for it. I think Kikaider, I think the time for them has just ended. That's just where we're at the point. Yeah, I think that's it. It's less of like they're self-destructing and more of like, dude, the fact that, you know, we're getting Shout, Discotek, Milk Creek. There is a you know, they have the whole lower prices compared to them. It's like it's kind of inevitable, kind of sadly, just because it is. And they also they would do these annual events where they'd get Kikaider's actor to Hawaii to do an event, and they said that this year's was the last one. So it does seem like just spending the money to do all that is not worth it, because I think Kikaider fans is a shrinking fan base because Toei's not doing anything with the property. There's nothing to reinvigorate it. The 2014 Kikaider reboot movie sort of gave it a little bit of a boost, but not enough to, I think, keep this going forever. And, you know, JM Productions needs to, you know, keep translating the Boruto manga, because they work on that. So, I don't think it's anything nefarious. I don't think it's anything, I don't think the whole company's going under. I think they're just deciding I don't think it's time to wrap up this part of the company. It doesn't feel like they're going out of business, but more
Were they the ones you met?
I did meet them, yes. When I was in Hawaii, I went to their office and met them. All wonderful people. And that's how I know this isn't, like, malicious in any way. Like, they love doing this, but it was always a side hobby. It's less of they're going out of business and more of we're closing this part of our life and we're moving on to the future. Because they do say you can do a free in-store pickup option until April 14th. I will tell you guys, their store is not a store. It is like the front part of their
You
translation
happen to be in
office.
Hawaii. If you
Yeah.
happen to be in Hawaii, go.
If you happen to be Hawaii, go. But
It's not a store.
they're in an office building. It's not an actual like store. They have stuff they sell in the front of their office. If you go visit them, they're always been a part of a translation company, and I deeply love everything they did. But you know, it does seem like that time has come to an end. They haven't done anything since the Kikaider reboot movie. You know, like new release wise, they've just been keeping their older stuff in print. But you know, at a certain point, it ends, and this is the end. And I wish them well because they did such great work on this.
When did he release? When was it? When did they start it?
Well, they started doing DVDs in like 2002.
Like when did their V3 set for them came
Their
out?
V3 set, I believe, was 2004.
Oh wow, I thought they were much older than I thought. That was 2010s.
Super old. because like they basically did a bunch of stuff in like 2002 to 2005ish, and then didn't do anything until Kikaider reboot. They've been Kikaider focused. They got V3 and Inazuman because those were also popular in Hawaii.
It's honestly impressive that it's just now this is happening.
Yeah, they've been in print for so long, and they're just like, let's just sell the remaining stock and close up this part of the business. It makes sense. You know, they've been doing it a long time, and I don't think they need to keep doing it. If I'm being honest. So we'll see what happens with any of these licenses for these shows. But if you want to go get something, go check it out. They have other stuff too besides DVDs. I have a bunch of stuff from when I actually visited them. So I didn't buy anything this time, but
because I'm not sure
things are discounted. So yeah.
I would say maybe this is a good decision because I'm not sure if their license of these shows were stopping the U.S. distributing. Like if
I have no idea if other companies were being blocked by them by their license.
Because I know because they're in Hawaii, not the U.S., but still it's English. So
but their things were for sale within the U.S. specifically.
So I think it's probably them. I think it's a good move. In terms of like they realize that like if we want these shows to keep getting bigger outside of our area, then I think it's best to have another company release this series with on Blu-ray or something like that. Was there any other bonus did they have any bonus features in their sets?
Yes, they had a ton of bonus features. We're talking pages and pages of essays, interviews with actors, trivia games, pop-up trivia option blocks. Like they had a ton of stuff on these.
Were any of them exclusive to their sets, or were they from like?
They were all produced Japanese? For their sets.
So
the biggest loss is not being able to see bonus features. But as people mentioned in the chat, maybe whoever may pick up these shows next may talk to Generation Kikaider and see.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe they could talk with them to get their features that they wanted to have.
I imagine if Discout could do it for V3.
If shouted V3, I won't be surprised he would include the V3 set in your last discussions in the Shout Factory.
But yeah, I don't really have much else on this. I don't have any there's no conspiracy. I've looked into this. I've talked to people. It just seems to be the time. It's just the time for the Generation Kikaider part of JN Productions to kind of close its doors and they can work on other things. It may also be possible. The guy I met was in charge of the whole Generation Kikaider side of stuff, and he may just be retiring. I have no idea. I've been trying to get in contact with them directly, but they've been.
Oh, welcome to the chat, Kaiju 1954.
Yeah, I'm glad you got that V3 set because the V3 set is great. But let's talk about some Ninja Turtles drama.
What should we do? Polls?
We'll do a poll for the Ninja Turtles drama.
Ninja Turtles.
All right. Super 7, Ultimates, Wave 10, Ninja Turtles. I don't usually do this wave by wave breakdown, but I think this one's interesting. First things first, there is a Mirage Comics inspired Casey Jones repaint with a freaking cool ass broken skull head, and I love it. I'm into this. This is my jam, all right? There is a classic rocker Leo that is vaguely similar to the Playmates variant, but is actually quite different. And they made him have a double neck guitar where the guitar necks come off to become his katana replacements.
I love that so much.
If I bought turtle variants, I would buy this. There is a Ninja April O'Neil with the belt buckle with the A on it. So she matches. She has all 4 of the turtle weapons. She even comes with nunchucks that look like microphones. Love it. And then there's Rat King, who looks nothing like his vintage toy, and everyone went, what?
I forget. Is the April
original? You remind me something about Rat King.
Is the April original? I forget.
April is, as I made the pictures too big, I believe April is an original design. I think there was a Ninja April figure in the vintage toys, but this is new. So, here's the thing. Let's talk about, I'll pull up the accessory counts on these guys too. First of all, like, April comes with 3 heads. She's got a bandana, she's got a face mask, she's got the flowing hair, camera,
she has
4
every
weapons.
ninja weapons.
Yeah,
Every
all the
ninja
turtle weapons, 10 hands in total, frickin' nunchuck microphones. It's great. I love the Leo's accessories where he's got like an eyes closed, really in the moment, singing, mic stand, guitar pick hand. I love the Casey Jones. It's the same accessory loadout with a new head, but I like this more as a Mirage Casey than the NECA one. You know, this is a good early Casey for NECA, or for Mirage. And then, yeah, Rat King doesn't come with his vintage accessories. He doesn't look like the vintage design. He comes with 3 rats and his fiddle and a couple extra heads. But it made people go, wait, why isn't he based on the old Playmates toy?
Well,
let's talk about what happened here.
Also,
Yes.
one thing, I'm not sure you have it on here, but there's also a leak Karai.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the hello that guy. There is a Karai that was on the group photo that they deleted the tweet. But there apparently is a Karai, it's just not in this wave. And I know Super7 recently started saying that they're going to start reducing the number of figures per wave because they realize they're putting out too much and overwhelming people's wallets. And thank you.
Thank you. Super7 is reasonable.
Yeah, I think that's why the turtle waves start getting like 1 repaint in a wave. In this case, I do want the Casey Jones. So, adding to this, this tweet kind of blew up a little bit. This guy who on Twitter, I don't know who this is, to be honest. I just saw this. Said, I'm going to post this so that people understand what's happening. Back in October, I was told by someone that Playmates claimed Super7 stole their TMNT designs. This claim is for Super7 to now make their own designs. I took the info with a grain of salt, but it seems true, and posted a picture of Rat King. So, the thing is that apparently, just from what I understand, from what I've been gathering from different sources, Super7 got the go-ahead, probably from Viacom, to do the Playmates toys designs. And for some reason now, Playmates rose an issue with it.
I think what happened is, Playmates was on break at the Rise toy line.
Well, here's the thing. I got more layers to this before we get into more speculation. I forgot to pull up the picture, so excuse me while I go pull up Gorilla. Can you just pull up under Gorilla? Gorilla is a character that appears in a magazine that's an adaptation of the Playmates Toys character, Sergeant Bananas. And at the time Gorilla came up, Super7's Brian Flynn said in an interview, we were going to do Sergeant Bananas, but apparently there was a big stink as to who owns the rights to Sergeant Bananas, so we just did Gorilla instead. And I think this is what happened. I think Sergeant Bananas was a toy-only character who never appeared in any media. Scratch, even though he was a toy guy, Scratch was in a video game.
Game Boy game, yeah.
Yeah, Game Boy game. I think Super7 submitting Sergeant Bananas made Viacom have to ask Playmates if they could use the design. Playmates found out that Super7's been using all their designs this whole time. Apparently wasn't okay with it, even though, again, we're on wave 10 with this Rat King thing.
Golly.
How did Playmates not know? But Playmates is weird, right? Like, we got one wave of Star Trek figures, and the next wave is missing, and we have no idea what's coming after that.
So, what's the deal about TNT? Because from what I understand...
Adding to this, just to I want to finish the story before we start speculating. So this story came out from a guy I don't know, but I mean, he has a cool Casey Jones cosplay profile image, so I immediately I'm like trustworthy. But Pixel Dan did, Pixel Dan knows Super7 people. People ask Pixel Dan, hey, apparently they're not allowed to do the Playmates things. Pixel Dan says appears to be accurate, yes. And Kyle Wodaga, who Wheels and I interviewed over on the Hero Club page, he was on a podcast and said that the Rat King is based on the Shredder's Revenge video game design. Which, if you look at this, which is the actual Shredder's Revenge art, and you look at this, which is the new Super7, you can see that they are very, very similar. And they're definitely
I was more surprised at I was more surprised the Shredder Revenge Rat King was a new design. I thought
Yeah.
it was just the 80s design.
Yeah, no, he was actually a new design, and they based this new figure off that. Now, for me personally, I'm cool with the new Rat King. Totally
I know,
cool with this. I don't like vintage Rat King designs, so this works for me.
Yeah.
But it took Playmates 10 ways to raise a stink about the designs. Discuss. While I craft a poll, Ryan starts theorizing.
So what I understand how Playmates made the original figures, weren't they all like worked on by different artists or something like that? Like,
there was one sculpting studio, but the designs were a lot of different artists.
Yeah, so do you think that's the reason this whole kerfuffle happened? Is maybe like it's less like because there must be what's such more of I think it's more relation of Sergeant Banana than Rat King, but like if they weren't since Sergeant Banana was a toy only character and they weren't allowed to use him, then there must be just some kind of like legal rights of the Playmate sculptor or whatever it was that was still going on then if they aren't like or weren't allowed to make Sergeant Banana, because if the rule is they have to be in some kind of media to get the approval, then that has to be the case, right? Because if
it has to be, yeah.
Because that's like Ninja Turtles is owned by Nickelodeon Viacom, like so there shouldn't be any legal issues in terms of like if that was the case, then if like we own we own everything, so you can literally make any figures of whoever you want it to be, sort of thing. But if they couldn't do Sergeant Banana, which is technically a character should have technically owned, but I guess they didn't because since he never made any media appearances, that means there's more to the whole Playmates Turtle kind of. I'm not sure it's the right word as copyright or just ownership than it seems. So again, like guys, you said, Scratch was in a video game.
Scratch was in a video game. I think that's why. And so I don't know if the claim was Playmates is stealing the designs, or if the claim was, Super 7 was stealing the Playmates designs, or if Playmates' issue was that they looked so similar to the Playmates designs. I don't know where the issue came up. It could have just been over Sergeant Bananas, to be honest.
Yeah, it's interesting because I find it so weird because I'm pretty sure the Mirage, the Playmates Rat King was semi-based off the Mirage Rat King, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think most do. Let me pull up vintage Rat King here real quick. Because it's not like this new design is that far off. It's just he's not grotesque and disgusting like I don't like this original one. That guy said the new Rat King is hot. Yeah, I think I've already seen people saying like
because that's the thing. Yeah, I didn't even know the design was different. I just saw Rat King, so I didn't even know there was a design difference.
I'm gonna put the poll up. Is the design change going to break the Super 7 TMNT line? Yes, Playmates designs were king. No, the figures are good enough. No, people are complaining too much, and I don't care either way. Asking the community, have fun with this poll. It's a little bit less than a yes or no answer. So enjoy that one.
For me, I always feel like since the beginning feel like that the Super 7 Ultimates had their own designs. They were definitely inspired by the Playmates figures, but since especially because I know they have like the toy head, but also a new head that like
I'm gonna pull up I'll just start flipping through images of the Super 7 Ultimates so that way we can kind of get an idea.
But I never felt that they were strictly have to be the Playmates figures with elbows and knees and all that stuff. I always felt like they were inspired by the Playmates figures, which technically were already inspired by the Mirage comics.
Yeah. So
like it literally was like almost I always kind of dub it the Evergreen Turtle line almost. Like it wasn't based on the 80s cartoon. While it was definitely inspired by the 80s, the Playmates 80s figures, it wasn't like strictly the 80s designs. There was some liberties taken just to make the figures better. So like I don't think them being fully not based on the Playmates figures could kill the line because it's still a Rat King, it's still an April, it's still Casey, like.
Yeah, because looking at these, like, a lot of these figures, like, if you look at the Turtles, they have the comic-inspired head and then the Playmates head, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think they look, I don't know, I like them better. I like that they take the design cues from Playmates, but, like, they have done their own thing this whole time,
perfect.
really.
Again, they're perfect Evergreen Turtles. They're not strictly, they're perfect Evergreen Turtles, so I don't think them not sticking with the Planet Science got killed.
And
the
it's
line
not in the
because...
pictures here, but Bebop came with a non-pink nose head so that you could have a more cartoon appearance. I think we've noticed a shift. Like I'll just kind of clip through the waves. Like Wave 4 was the last wave where I felt like they were directly Playmates inspired, because Wave 5 they started getting a little bit farther away. And then Wave 6 was getting a little bit crazier. But like Wave 7 with that Gorilla, the Mecha Bebop, even the Triceraton looks different. Like they're, especially like Wave 8, which was that was an easy pass wave for me. I think the change happened around Wave 8, to be honest, because I look at this wave and I'm like, ooh, I don't like it that much.
Because even the Shredder, like, it's not even like fully tuned Shredder. Like, it's not even the Toon Shredder, because
it's like it's the weird silver variant Shredder or whatever.
Yeah, but like Super 7 always, I feel like since the beginning had their own aesthetic, and just they're more embracing it.
Right, just like how they take, like with their other lines, they take the cartoon design and then tweak it to the Ultimates design.
And that's the thing, because I always feel like the appeal of the Playmates figures is their own. The Playmates figures have their own style to them. So I feel like that's the same thing with Super 7, but now it's now evolved to be their own style.
Right.
Now.
Can you get them all in a pack?
There was like a turtle.
You could order all 4 turtles at once, but they weren't like they weren't boxed together. They were in.
You just get them all at once.
They had an option. That's what I did with Super 7. Is they're like, here, you can buy all 4 turtles at once.
The Super 7 figures are like, I really wish I would have gotten them at just budget at the time for me, because I think, again, they're perfect evergreen designs, because they're a perfect balance of 80s, 2000s.
They're also the best articulated turtles I've handled still to this day, which is crazy.
Definitely.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like NECA has too many clashing parts. Smith the Crow mentions, I wish there was more pictures with the accessories. I agree. I'm struggling to throw galleries up to show off figures, and I'm like, yeah, okay, here's 2 pictures of Rat King.
Unrelated, but sort of related.
Yes.
Jim Lawson, who created Rat King, is coming to my town's Comic-Con in July.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice.
I might be able to interview him.
I wish we could get IDW Rat King, the god. Was it the Mischief God?
Yeah, Mischief God. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Common Jojo asked, "What do you guys think about SpongeBob Super 7?"
I think they're great. Honestly, it's just surprised me that for the big brand that is SpongeBob, there's never been like a really decent action figure line. So I think they're great. It's just always the budget and time for me. It's like if I have the budget to get them, there's other things I have to get.
Yeah,
so it's a problem.
I know that feeling.
Like the Simpsons line, right, Jerry?
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I like them, but then when I have the money, there's something else I want more. But
want
those.
It's like they're great. I love like they're high. Super 7 is a company that's filled with passion. Oh my
god, they have an official promo image. It's a meme.
But like they're like
it does seem like Wave 2 has less accessories, but I think it's because of Squidward's big old head.
Yep. But like they're a company that's full of passion and knows what they're making and such. It just they're always expensive because of
they're a small company.
They're a small company. Like
they have like less than 30 employees.
I don't want to say they're indie. I don't want to say they're an indie company since they do get big licenses, but like
they basically are an indie company. They're like they're a small. They're like 20 people in San Francisco making toys. That are
if we go by video game terms, if Hasbro or Mattel or such are like AAA companies, I view Super 7 as a AA company. And such.
I would say Super 7 and NECA are about the same company size wise. NECA just has a store distribution deal for their stuff.
Yeah,
and so that's why NECA stuff is a little bit cheaper. Because the thing is, I see people like say like, "Oh, Super 7 stuff's way too expensive. NECA's cheaper," but it's like, all right, SpongeBob here's $54, right? How much does a gargoyle cost now?
I mean, because that's the thing.
Here's Gargoyle. Like, when Gargoyles started, they were $35, but now Gargoyles are $42. Actually, their MSRP is $48. They're $48. These are really close in price.
Yeah, they're very close.
Like, the Mirage Comics Triceraton I got was $50.
Yeah, it's
the Ultimate's only $5 more.
when it comes to NECA and Super 7, you just they're always like more expensive because not only a smaller company, but they're more heavy. They have more paint. They have more accessories. They either have more accessories or they have a lot of plastic. They're like.
I mean, the gargoyles are expensive because of these stupid dumbass wings, but.
Oh, you want to get Thanatos? You get the Thanatos.
I know. I was gonna buy the humans anyways, but I pre-ordered Xanatos and Eliza instantly because they come with wing capes.
Wing capes.
I was like, I need those now.
That's always a scare for me. I was like, I would love like gargoyle triggers. Oh God, where can I put these things?
Yeah. I saw the mention of Beast Kingdom Goliath. Here he is. He's $105 though.
Oh, that's
he's 8.27 inches tall, but like he's $105.
That's me.
Does it come with swappable wings? LED lit alternate head. I do not need that in my life.
That's me every time I look at Mondo figures. They're gorgeous, but they're too expensive.
Yeah, this looks good, but like he's definitely more toon accurate. The NECA stuff is definitely going for like, what if it's cartoony but realistic?
It's similar style to NECA. They're similar style to what's the business? Like the Clone Wars gets like Black Series figures or and such.
Muteki C says that you bought that battle tank, no excuses. Yeah, but that's Thundercats. Thundercats is different. Thundercats is always an exception for me. Like on anything.
Anyways, I think that's anything else to say about Super 7?
Let me see here.
Support them if you can. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, no, if you can buy Super 7 stuff, give them love. Sometimes Super 7 stuff gets like weird QC stuff happens, but like I have not seen anything on Super 7 that I haven't seen on NECA or Hasbro. You know, people are just harsher on Super 7 because the timelines are farther out, like on release, and then also because they feel like because they're a smaller company, they should be perfect. When it's really hard to make toys that turn out good.
I think people realize that when it comes to a lot of this stuff, it's always the factories that no matter what,
it's always going to be human error or factory error.
Yeah. No matter what, you could be like an indie toy. Like if you're like a super, like you could be any company. Like even like the looks like Hot Toys or something like that there will still be QC errors no matter what.
You mass produce anything, there's going to be QC errors. Crossy Hossie, I love that username. That is alliteration. Beautiful. They're doing another Silverhawks reveal for the line after Wave 1 ships because Wave 2 ships. Mine is sitting in the other room. It arrived today. That'll be Friday's video for anyone wondering. Silverhawks Wave 1 got delayed. I think Wave 1 is now May, and then after Wave 1 gets released, then they'll reveal Wave 4. Because they don't like to have more than 3 waves out, but they feel like they should get caught up before revealing more. Because we know Wave 3 already. I imagine Copper Kid's in Wave 4, but, so we know 3 waves of Silverhawks. Wave 4 will be revealed after Wave 1 ships. I want to end the poll. All right, the poll. Is the design change going to break the Super 7 TMNT line? 36% said, I don't care either way. 31% said, no, the figures are good enough. 18% said, no, people are complaining too much. And 13% said, yes, Playmates designs were king. So, I agree. This does not bother me. Like, I know for some people, like, that it just breaks the whole experience for them. For me, I don't mind, because I wasn't in it for Playmates accuracy. If I was in it for Playmates accuracy, I'd just buy the original Playmates figures.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I'd rather get new experience than just getting the same figure with knees.
Yeah. Speaking of Toxic Crusaders, though, I'm not going to buy any of these. Crossy said excited for the Toxic Crusaders. I don't have many thoughts, because I don't know this property that well.
I'm surprised you haven't watched the original Trauma film.
I haven't, and I have met Lloyd Kaufman. And I have not actually watched any of these. But I gotta say, I love this dude. I don't know what his name is. What is his name? Junkyard. If I didn't have so many figures on order, I would buy Junkyard.
I would say that the cartoon is like gloriously funny bad. I'll definitely say like in terms of actually good quality, I will say just watch the original Trauma film because it's such a great indie B film. It embraces its indie B film
Speaking of
feel
indie, some company named Trick or Treat Studios is making like a very vintage looking Toxie.
Oh, if that's the same Trick or Treat studio, that's interesting because if they're the same, they mostly do like props of horror.
1/6
horror
scale, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh, they made that Cobra Commander helmet. Okay.
Okay, there we go. Because I know Trick or Treat studio for making
Yeah.
prop
They're
stuff for
doing a
horror
Toxic
movies.
Avenger, so if anyone wants a
Interesting.
vintage looking Toxic, I appreciate the work that Troma has done, but I have never actually watched any of their movies. But yeah, if I were to buy a Toxic Crusader Ultimate, it'd be Junkyard. I like Junkyard. Okay, it's Blu-ray time. It's Blu-ray time. Let's all get depressed.
It's time for another discussion.
Yeah, the top 50 disc sellers, format, market share. Somehow DVD is still 57.1% of the market.
I was telling you about that earlier. Remember?
Yeah.
When I went to Target, I was like, "Where's the blue?" No wonder DVDs are selling more because they don't
even carry Blu-ray. Yeah, like some people look at this like, is there that many people buying DVD? And I'm like, no, because stores will only put out DVD.
Yeah, still, I don't get it.
70.
Blu-rays are players are common.
It's 70% DVDs in Walmarts and Targets. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, the reason why I think UHD is a low 17% is because I don't ever see UHD stuff. I don't see 4K stuff in stores.
I was like, UHD, is that 4K?
Yeah, Ultra HD, 4K. Spin Dash, Bernie Sanders meme. I'm once again asking for media companies to cut DVD cold turkey. That's the best Bernie Sanders you're getting out of me. I'm not good at impressions. I try sometimes.
But yeah, it's so weird because again, DVDs are more expensive to make nowadays.
They are. So anyways, if anyone's wondering why companies keep doing DVD, it's because of stupid graphics like this.
Like I just want, is DVD really that much a brand that stores just won't let go? Even though I feel like Blu-rays are now like a decade old, like 2 decades
they're
old.
Over a decade old. I think Blu-ray just never stuck in people's brains like DVD. I see actors. I was listening to the Star Trek, like the official Star Trek podcast yesterday, and like Tawny Newsome was like, "Oh yeah, I just recorded the commentary for the Lower Decks DVD," and I'm like, can we get actors to start saying Blu-ray? Because I keep hearing them say DVD, and I think that's causing things to stick.
I think that's the thing, because DVD is just an instant, like, you know it, because it's such a common name for a long time that it's hard to kind of say Blu-ray.
Thank you, that guy, for the compliment on my Bernie Sanders impression.
Because I think it's more hard to say home media than saying DVD, because it's just a word.
DVD was a great acronym. Right? Like DVD has like alliteration. It's fun. It's a little fruity, it's great. Digital video disc sounds dull, so DVD became the thing. Blu-ray does not have that same factor, I don't think. Blu-ray is weird. If we're being honest, Blu-ray is a weird term. But that is not our big news. Disney CEO.
I want to see blue lasers come out whenever I put in Blu-ray disc.
Lasers come out when your Blu-ray disc goes in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blu-ray. I want to see Blu-rays.
You want to see? We need a freaking see-through
player.
See-through player, yeah, so we can see the lasers. That's what it is.
Yeah,
and yes, I did say DVD was a little fruity as a term because it's fun, it's light, it's enjoyable.
Kind of is, yeah.
It's great. All right, so Bob Robert Iger. I'm going to go to this other article that had a better quote. Anyways, Bob Iger, guy who was totally at the Oscars because this thing was broadcast on ABC, he said, so there is some potentially significant Disney news. Disney reported let me get the quote on screen. Disney reported a quarter one operating loss of $212 million on a revenue of $2.46 billion in its content, sales, licensing, and other segment, in part due to a dearth of home entertainment releases. The decrease in home entertainment results were low due to lower sales of new release titles, reflecting fewer releases and catalog titles. Essentially meaning their entertainment thing is low, like their sales are low because they're not releasing anything. Whoops. Iger Bob Iger, current CEO and also former CEO of Disney, he's got that distinction. Iger says, home video, at one point as it was called, was extremely lucrative for our company. We're looking at all of that again. It is already clear to us that the content exclusivity that we felt would be so valuable in growing subscribers was not as valuable as we thought. While eventually everything will migrate to streaming, we're not there yet. Oh my gosh. Please mean this, that like Iger's like, all right, get the Mandalorian on Blu-ray now.
Let's actually put our stuff on Blu-ray.
What was that?
It's like, maybe people will actually watch our shows, so we put them on Blu-ray.
Yeah, and the article went in to talk about that, like, Disney is underutilizing Marvel and Star Wars fandom.
Yep, they are.
And, like, because the thing is that, like, Marvel and Star Wars fans will subscribe to Disney Plus to watch them as they drop, but they will also buy them again later.
Because they like the shows, they want to support it.
Exactly. Like, you throw me, like, a Falcon and the Winter Soldier or Hawkeye Blu-ray or a Mandalorian 4K, I am there. Okay? Like, I'm there day one. I'm chopping at the bit.
It helps because I don't think there are much... Is there really any bonus features that you really have?
They already have hour-long documentaries for every one of their shows. They could just make that the bonus feature if they wanted. Yeah, so, like, there's a potential that, oops, we jumped to Transformers. There is a potential that Bob Iger is saying we have been losing money in our content, and our way to make it back is to release more Blu-rays and DVDs. So, here we go. Poll time. Is Disney getting back into home video? I misspelled Disney because it's Monday and I'm for some reason tired.
Disney.
Yeah, so if Disney is getting back into home video, is that the shot in the arm the industry needs? Boom. It's going to be yes, no, or other. Please comment. Here we go. Poll time. All right. We did 3 polls so far this stream. This is great. Okay. So that's the poll. So, is it, because the thing is, and the reason why people have discussed this is that Universal, Warner Brothers, Paramount, Disney, them all rolling back on disc releases has hurt the entire industry, I think. Personally.
I mean, Walmart's too busy canceling already finished projects.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Warner Brothers could have just put Batgirl out on Blu-ray if they wanted to make money.
Or Scooby-Doo and Crypto 2, a movie that's fully finished.
We're like Star Trek Lower Decks Season 3 is a manufactured on-demand release for its Blu-ray, which is dumb, but, at least they're releasing it. So this is big news, because this is Disney going, hey, our industry is underutilizing a revenue source.
Exactly.
And Spin Dash brings up a good point. If we get Walt Disney Treasures on Blu-ray, the medium will be saved. I mean, at this point, like, they're not even, most of that stuff isn't even on Disney Plus. I'm gonna leak something. I'm gonna do a leak on live. I'm kidding. It's not really a leak. It just hasn't been officially announced.
I think the only Disney Plus only thing that got physical release was it Turning Red? I want to say it was Turning Red.
Any of the Pixar movies got released. That were exclusive, like Turning Red and Soul. Okay, so I'm gonna do a leak. This is a leak because it's technically not officially revealed yet. But Spin Dash says those 10 short Mickey volumes is kind of too loose and casual for my interest. Understandable. Here's another one coming. I like it because they're actually doing it. So the thing is, there was a collection. I don't think I've covered it yet because that's in the next Blu-ray haul. But we're getting a second Mickey and Friends short collection. This one contains Mr. Duck Steps Out, Winter Storage, Pluto's Party, Pluto and the Gopher, Mickey's Trailer, Pluto's Sweater, Boat Builders, Tugboat Mickey, The Band Concert, and Lonesome Ghosts. Lonesome Ghosts is a really important one. This is coming out April 4th through Disney Movie Club, and it'll be out later. Yeah, they are kind of just random. Like, Spin Dash brings a good point. There's no, like, they're not consecutive year. They're just, here, have 10, and it's chaotic, but I'd prefer this to not having them. It would be nice to get something like the treasure collections that were more character-focused or year-focused. And Smith the Crow brings up the Beatles documentary. Yes, that was because Disney Plus did not make that documentary. They bought the airing rights for the documentary. The list price is $21.95 for 10 shorts. With Disney Movie Club, it's showing the $10.98 because that's the price you get if you order like more than one item. But yeah, I think. Let's see, Mickey and Minnie shorts, Blu-ray. I want to say that the volume 1 is running like $15. $15 for 10 shorts. Ooh, the Hobbit's on sale. $15 for 10 shorts is definitely like a good value, I think, because you are getting a Blu-ray, a DVD, and a digital copy, so you are getting it 3 times. The other cool part, this is the part I do like, is that these are not just the shorts; they actually have bumpers at the beginning and end where it's Mickey. Like the first one was Mickey and Minnie flipping through a photo album, talking about like, "Oh, hey, you remember this time?" And then it cuts to the short, and I think that's pretty cool. So that's that. I hope this was a good sign. This and like the Tangled set and some of the others. I would expect Disney to go, let's release the popular shows, Mandalorian, Marvel shows, that kind of thing, first to test the market. I wouldn't say everything from Disney Plus is going to get a disc release. Like, Willow barely even blipped on a radar. I never saw anyone talk about the National Treasure show. Like,
that's the Santa Claus series.
The Santa Claus series might, actually, because that was insanely popular. And I say insanely popular because it's the only Disney thing to get renewed for season 2.
Really good.
Yeah, it did. Like halfway through airing. So, let's see where are we at the poll. We got 19 votes. You guys got another minute on the poll before we close that one. Spin Dash says, "Wild Reach, give me a Blu-ray of classic theatrical cartoons with the original newsreels attached." I would love that. Just like, here's your 1933 March presentation. Smith the Crow says, "I'm looking at that Hobbit set that's on sale, and I know it's the extended edition of the third movie is rated R." It is?
Wait, what?
What?
Really?
Hobbit. I haven't watched the Hobbit movies, to be honest. What was the third one called? Hobbit. Let's just look up the trilogy. What? Okay. It was the Battle of the Five Armies. Hobbit.
Yeah.
Battle of the Five Armies extended edition. Where's the IMDb page? IMDb. Rated. IMDb has this feature called Parents Guide where some people like put in like, what is the offensive content that you wouldn't want to show to your kids? And I don't think they actually have one on here. Oh, here it is. All right, let's see. Violence and gore. 4 out of 5 found this severe. Mild depictions of war. Okay. Wow, that's not that bad.
Like we get like beheadings or something.
I'm assuming beheadings with blood. That's a guess.
Oh, so
as Worf would say, beheadings are on Wednesdays, and it's only Monday. So, yeah. All right, let me check back at the chat. The chat.
Cat. Nice. The cat.
The cat. SSJ4 Jason wants Cars on the Road. That'd be cool.
Surprise hasn't been released yet. Or Monsters at Work.
Yeah. LPH, can we get some shows of the late 90s and 2000s? I would like that, but we'll have to see. Muteki T says, need Song of the South on Blu-ray. Whoopi gave approval. I mean, if Whoopi Goldberg would like do an intro on like a Blu-ray Song of the South, talking about like the historical context of everything in that movie, that would be fantastic. My solution for any of these things that have not aged well whatsoever, for preservation, is to just get Whoopi Goldberg to shoot an intro. It's the most effective and easiest way to do it, and she's happy to do it. Spin Dash has the fancy bookshelf set of the Middle Earth films. All right, Middle Earth. I'm trying to remember which one this is. Middle Earth bookshelf edition. Let's see. Well, that's the books. Oh, is it these? Is it these? Because that looks cool. That looks... Oh, is it this? Oh, that does look cool with the bookshelf thing. Yeah, 30 disc limited edition set. That is like a nice looking set. Josh Frisch says, I hope Hasbro starts to put Power Rangers back on DVD again now that they start back up Sentai. I'd love to see Beast Morphers with Dino Fury. Blu-ray preferably for the modern shows, but I agree.
Those are made in HD, for God's
Yeah,
sakes.
I would really like that. I would really like them to do stuff again. Commodore 64, thoughts on the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies? They're better now that they're not the only linchpin holding together the entire Star Trek franchise. I am like way less critical of them now.
Did JJ only direct the first film?
He only directed the first two, but he produced the third one.
So just
but Justin Lin directed it, and that's why I like Beyond the most. Spin Dash says this has all the bonus features, documentaries, and everything. Oh, this is like that Matrix set I have, where it had everything, and then the next set didn't, because I know the 4K for Lord of the Rings didn't have stuff. They're not actual books; they just look like books, and they hold the movies.
I miss weed packaging for DVDs like that.
Yeah, because essentially you'd have to have this plus the 4K set to have all your middle. What
was it like the Star Trek Next Generation DVD case were in those weird like silver like capsule cases or something like that?
Yeah, all the Star Trek DVDs came in weird plastic packaging. Enterprises were the weirdest; they wouldn't stack. Like the original books, yeah.
You remember the Bayformer films? Remember those transforming DVD cases?
Sig said Blu-rays for Samurai onwards. I agree. We only got Super Samurai.
Just Super Samurai, not even Samurai.
Anyways, which weird cases were we talking about?
Remember transforming ones.
You remember the Transformers?
Oh yeah.
Transforming cases.
I have all three of them. I gotta find them.
Simpsons has some cool ones for the season sets, and they stopped doing them.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's Optimus Bumblebee and Megatron. Was that their one?
Yeah, it was Optimus, Bumblebee, and Megatron. I think the Bumblebee came out for Revenge of the Fallen, and Optimus and Megatron came out for the first movie.
Bumbletron and Megabee, yep.
Megatron and Optibee. People miss fun DVD packaging. I'm seeing so many comments come through. I can't keep track. Simpsons Homer case.
Yeah.
God,
Yep.
they had the Simpsons head.
Yeah. They did that for Ninja Turtles too. Ninja Turtles also had a head case for.
And they were impossible. They were a nightmare on a shelf.
Yeah. All right. Is Disney getting back into home video? Is that the shot in the arm the industry needs? 89% said yes.
I put it myself.
Yeah. I mean, I think it does. I think it is. You get a big studio doing it again.
It's great, but there's things like that always go like not just supporting getting off streaming.
Exactly.
Or if you messed up or whatever, you know.
Yeah, and like sometimes, like I was watching.
Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat, Sophia Fox.
Welcome. I was watching Black Panther on Disney Plus, and like my connection kept dripping, so I just went and grabbed the Blu-ray off the shelf. Or out of the cabinet, and have it on a shelf.
Sophia Fox, well, Go Andre is on Blu-ray in Japan as well. They started HD production with Bokenger. No releases for that or Geki Ranger Ghost Sager. All like really?
Yeah. Toei, despite producing shows in HD, starting with Bokenger, they have not actually done Bokenger, Geki Ranger, or Ghost Sager on Blu-ray.
Okay.
And you guys wonder why the Shout Sentai stuff is messed up.
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah. Watching Die Ranger, and I'm like, why does this look like VHS?
Go Andre had a Blu-ray, Shigs, and he said because Shinkender's the only pre-Go Kaider. Go Andre had one too.
Kamen Rider Double had a.
I think the Kamen Rider will have Blu-rays, but I think Sentai is only DVDs.
Muteki T says they can't put it on Blu-ray unless the original copy, for example, G1 transfers. I get if I'm interpreting the question correctly, yeah, like typically with Japanese stuff, like if it doesn't have a Blu-ray in Japan, you can't get a Blu-ray outside of Japan. Some exceptions come up with smaller things like Discotek picks us up.
I mean, but man, the masters for Toei are always awful. Like the Transformers. Yeah, I remember when they revealed Death Star as Super Gold. I heard some like non-Transformer fans go like, "My God, what's up with the video quality of these anime clips? They're so low quality."
Yeah, and I think that's a problem that Sentai always has to face is Toei not preserving those shows well. We could talk more Blu-rays. Should we get this Transformers news out of the way?
Sure. Yeah, do it.
All right, guys, Transformers. There is a part of this news story that is a spoiler for Rise of the Beasts. I will give you guys warning when that comes up. Apologies to Ryan and Jerry, you're getting it regardless.
No, all right, shall we talk about Wheelgate?
All right, let's talk about Wheeljackgate. Wheeljacktually, I don't know. There was a lot of dumb stuff. For some reason, this cardboard standee made people think Wheeljack was cut from the movie because of his leaked toy head design not being received well.
And like that is such a stupid
I could
reason.
see them redesigning it because there was backlash of some kind, sure, but like I don't think they were cutting Wheeljack from the movie when his vehicle's already been filmed.
Even then, like that was a toy. We don't even know if the movie's gonna look like 1-to-1 that.
Right, we don't know because we're about to talk about, the toys don't look 1-to-1 to the movie designs. It was weird, but essentially like this made people think that Wheeljack was cut from the movie. He's not been in the trailers outside of his van mode. He's seen from the back in one shot. I think Wheeljack just has a small part in the movie. I think
He's
that's
like
why he's not in the marketing.
the Abba focus clearly is gonna be Mirage and RC and Optimus.
Yeah. Also, this doesn't have any of the Terracons on it. Like Nightbird has a voice actor, has a car. We have not seen the robot design for the movie. There is a theory that Airraiser and Rhinox don't transform. That's a theory because we haven't seen their robot modes. Rhinox may have been in a background shot, but it's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell all the brown and mush.
Yeah, they're hiding stuff from this movie. They're definitely keeping it, under wraps to keep some surprises. And let's talk about the toys. So there's a 3-pack. So we finally got reveals of these toys that leaked out before.
We finally got confirmation of what they are.
Yeah, exactly. First things first, these are Target exclusives. All of these are Target exclusives.
I think are they under Buzzworthy Bumblebee or no?
I don't know. They just say Target. There are 3-packs. So for $60, not, 75, $60, you get Cheetor, Nightbird, and Wheeljack, right? So the interesting part here is that Cheetor's beast mode matches his beast mode from the actual standee, while the robot mode doesn't match. So let's look at the robot mode.
It's clearly original show inspired.
Right. There is some color swapping happening with Cheetor, I think, because the Studio Series robot is more accurate. The basic beast mode is more accurate. Because I don't think they could do both at once for whatever reason. Because if you look here, and this Cheetor looks different than how he did in the trailer. Like in the trailer, he did not have that much fur on him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit weird. But Nightbird, this is in this shot. And then there's Wheeljack with his big old glasses.
Goddamn Hasbro stock for the man with these Transformer pics.
Yeah, I don't know why everybody's like having to be in a running pose. But Wheeljack is here. That's our first official look at those two characters. The other 3-pack is Bumblebee, Airraiser, and Mirage. Once again, the Airraiser looks like the bird from here, whereas I assume the robot mode matches the Studio Series, but the Studio Series doesn't have a robot mode render on it, so it's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
This Mirage doesn't look that accurate, but none of them can because I think he mash shifts too much.
Yeah, he mashes too much.
He mash shifts too much. I like the Airraiser. I like the way it looks. But I don't know if I want to buy either set, to be honest.
I like it more than the Studio Series, to be honest.
Yeah. I want to see which one's more accurate.
It's interesting.
I need my accurate Michelle Yeoh bird transformer.
It's interesting because they're both $60. Because I always thought the Cheetor was a Voyager. Because he does look bigger than the other 2 deluxes in that pack.
Yeah, and it's just because of his beast mode. Because the vehicle modes are more condensed.
But it's honestly because these are 3-packs in which there is a you might have seen it a couple times at Targets, but there's that Cyberverse release of Cheetor, Bumblebee, Optimus. It's pretty much gonna be in that same style of these 3-packs.
The weird part is how the kids line is all exclusive to Target, and adding to the essentially cancellation of the Velocitron subline for Walmart. I think Walmart's dropping Transformers.
Because in terms of exclusives, because I think also keep.
I'm talking retail. Because why did all the kids' toys go only to Target? Walmart would be the only other store that would carry that. So the only reason to make them Target exclusives is Walmart didn't want them.
Target really gives some money to Hasbro to make these exclusives for us. Please.
I mean, this is 6 new molds going to one store.
I mean, it's always interesting because I find it interesting
Yeah.
that all these have been leaked except for the Mirage and Bumblebee. No, I think the Bumblebee may have leaked.
No, the
unless it-
Bumblebee didn't. It was the Mirage and
Yeah,
Bumblebee
yeah.
didn't. Yeah.
which I find interesting.
I think this was going to be a normal retail line, and I think Walmart dropped Transformers because the thing is, as people have pointed out, Galaxy Shuttle, Crasher, and Shadow Strip have been like impossible to find in stores. They're
Which is frustrating for
discontinued
me,
according to
'cause
Pulse.
Which is frustrating for me because I really want to get the Galaxy Shuttle.
Yeah, the Hot Rod got canceled and just didn't get released at all. These are the first uses of these molds. When I say new molds, I do mean first use, but I wonder if Walmart just doesn't want to carry Transformers anymore for whatever reason.
Because there's also those Rhinox and Optimus.
Yeah, the Voyager,
figures.
Rhinox, and Optimus too are.
That
We don't know where
technically
those are coming out either because those haven't been
go
revealed.
with these. They go with these technically because they're totally main line, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so weird because this is the first time in a long time where Hasbro actually made mainline toys that are decent.
Yeah, these look good. I do like them.
They don't have any gimmicks or nothing. They have like pretty good posability. Like
the only sucky part is there's no RC for the main line.
Yeah, but like, it's because these are no gimmick.
But then again,
like
the core class RC is pretty good, so
There's no like special battle beast armor.
There are other figures for that. Yeah, there's actual mainline basic transforming Transformers that don't have gimmicks.
This is the first time since RAD, but I didn't tell you. But also tell you the first since Prime to have like multiple scales with the Voyager, Rhinox, and Optimus. Because RAD that was all deluxes. For mainline.
And then adding to that, I think that they realized that Studio Series couldn't be the only line this time for this movie.
Yeah, because I think with Bumblebee, it was such a weird scenario. That whole movie was just weird in terms of the whole.
Well, they couldn't even decide what that movie was going to be half the time.
Yeah, so it makes sense that like this Rise of the Beast guest finally gets a new main line because at least there's more to work with.
They probably also know that with the roster of characters, they won't be able to entice little kids and parents.
All right, I'm gonna put a poll up.
What poll is this? What number are we on?
4. 4.
Oh wow! You didn't hit your numbers, man.
Oh no, it wasn't happening. We did at least 3. Now we're doing 4. I'm gonna say that. So I put the poll out. Is a character reveal a spoiler? Thoughts? Because this is gonna go into the rest of the news.
I'd say 50-50.
I'm waiting to see what the audience says.
For both.
Yeah,
because don't forget, depending on the character, it can break a movie, like the Shazam incident.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's funny. We won't mention
the Shazam thing that Warner Brothers spoiled. That I've known about for like 7 months.
Yeah, like you and me knew about it, but we only knew about it because of the insider.
Yeah.
Well, I got a leak from the Shazam spoiler because of McFarlane figure leak.
Oh yeah. They're making a new figure for that character.
There was a leak of that character.
That's even funny.
I didn't even know about that leak.
I didn't know about that either. That's okay. But no, when it comes to Transformers, I don't think it's really I think I voted yes for the sake of just yes, but I think it's usually when it's Transformers, not really. Because with Transformers, there's a huge roster of characters, so you don't know who's going to be in the film or who's going to have a major role in said film.
There's going to be a chance there's a toy line only character also.
But I just voted for the general sake of it, yes or no, just as
all right,
chaos.
I'm ending the poll because we did this for a short poll. Most people said no, but I will tell you that if you think a character reveal is a spoiler, see you next week. Have fun. Enjoy your days. We'll be here. And if you don't think it's a spoiler, it's officially revealed, so that's what I'm going to say. It's officially revealed. Here we go. It's Scorponok. Scorponok, we have a Predacon. Scorponok has got a toy in the Rise of the Beast toy line. And
it's under the Beast armor line, I think.
It's under the Beast armor line. Scorponok, here he is. For some reason, his alt mode is a separate toy there. Psychos, what have I missed? A lot.
Well.
I kind of need. Sounds gonna need to fill me in on the Super.
I'll fill you in on the Super 7 thing after the show. But anyways, Hasbro officially revealed Rise of the Beast Scorponok. This was in the official press stuff that they put out today with the basic toys. I think this would technically be a spoiler. There was a listing for a Studio Series MV7 Scorponok, and people were thinking they thought it meant 2000 movie Scorponok. And I said, when that reveal and that listing came out, I was like, I bet Scorponok is a surprise Predacon in the movie. And I guess it's not going to be a surprise because Hasbro just showed a toy of it. But if there's a mainline toy and there's a Studio Series, he's probably in the movie.
It doesn't help that, like, I think...
you goes Wheels.
No, it doesn't help that, like, I think a little while ago, not just because of the listings, there was a lot more heavy mention that it wouldn't just be the Maximals, Predacons would be showing up, because I remember hearing a while back that, Scorponok was one of the major named Decepticons in this film, so I'm guessing we're not going to have, like, Megatron, like, we might have just having, like, Scorponok and Tarantulas, and then, that kind of goes to Bode because of, or Spark, knock on wood.
Well, one of the early promo pics of Rise of Beast was a mural of all the different Maximus Predacons, where we have, I think it was everybody from season 1. So you got Megatron, Dinobot, Scorponok, Tarantulas, all that stuff. So I'm curious if we're gonna see more Predacons. I doubt it's gonna be only Scorponok. That'd be just weird. It'd be just the one. I find it weird that we don't have a photo of his Scorpion mode. All of these press images, it's just his robot mode, because I think the Scorpion thing.
The Scorpion thing is supposed to be his alt mode.
I think that's his buddy.
That's his buddy, but it's also supposed to be his alt mode.
It's weird.
And the reason why I say that is because the claws and the tail shape, this all design wise matches him.
Also, isn't it funny how his head looks like a trucker version of G1 Scorponok?
Yeah, it's not interesting with this design, because unlike the other Maximals, like the other Beast Wars characters, are not like half show, half Bayverse or movie design aesthetic. This is very much original design. Like, I see aspects of the original Beast Wars Scorponok in it, but like with the crab claw, with the kind of scorpion claws in the front and the head sort of looking like Beast Wars Scorponok, but like it's definitely not like one-to-one Beast Wars Scorponok.
And it should be interesting to see what the actual movie design will be, because like all the kids line stuff has been merging.
Merging designs.
So, on that note, we're almost at the end of the stream, so I wanna wrap us up on time. Smith the Crow, yes, I did see the Lego Indiana Jones official reveal. We talked about him a lot last week. I don't think I have any additional thoughts, but I'm looking forward to them. I think my further thoughts will be when I review them eventually. I'll try to. What I'm going to do for the Lego indie stuff is I'll get them all and then put all 3 into one.
Yeah, it's better to make them all one video.
Yeah, so not canceled. The people who are in the, like Ryan was telling me, the reviewer, was it the Lego ambassadors?
No, yeah, Lego Ambassador Network, which is their review, reviewers, official reviewers. They were allowed to showcase the leak image.
I think it was delayed because there's $235 worth of Lego coming out on April 1st, and they didn't want to add another $80 to it.
No, I think they totally wanted to, and they were told no, don't do it.
They're like, yeah, that's because there's a lot of indie stuff coming out in April, and I don't think they wanted to overload.
Yeah, if I think, because even in their article talk about why the set was delayed, they said had to do to their partnership with Lucasfilm. So like if the set would have got canceled, maybe there might be some stink from Lucasfilm or something like that, or vice versa.
This does confirm I guess we'll just go over this real quick. Heck it, I like indie. So the plane set is $35, coming out April 1st. I love that they have the shot from the movie recreated in the promo images.
Found out we have a great question. Why do I come late? I wake up usually at 6, but my computer takes forever to turn on.
Yep. Because he needs a better computer. His computer sucks.
Pretty much. My computer's like that now.
Anyways, these promo pics are great. The wings detach on the plane. It's got the 3 figures.
You're just missing the tunnel.
Yep. I like this. I like this a lot. Escape from the Lost Tomb. This one's $40. So, I mean, look at this. It's beautiful. I love the back section that we didn't get to see.
Yeah, it even has the whole the whole cabin section in the back.
Yeah, I think that's great. This just looks really, really good. I love the mummy. The mummy's like one of my favorite bits of this. And then there's the Ark.
So I don't think the Ark can open. I said I don't think you can open the Ark from what I've seen in videos.
Hopefully not. I don't want to melt.
I want to open the Ark just to see my Legos melt.
Yeah.
Or
Here's
you
the
can
Golden
recreate it by
Temple.
holding a blowtorch.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh God, what's that kid's name? Toy Story.
Sid.
Sid.
Yeah. Okay, Sid.
So this is $150 for the golden.
It's the big collector
idol.
set.
Yeah,
It's
it's
the
got
big
the light
collector's-
brick. It's got Indy running. What is that white stuff on his face? Is that spider webs?
It's spider webs.
Okay. I like Alfred Molina just dying in the back.
you literally can put Belloc, but like Alfred Molina in there.
I forget what Alfred Molina's character's name was. Going to be honest, I just
I was
remember
gonna say,
I
Alfred
believe it's
Molina.
called Doc Ock.
Yeah.
I was going to say Belloc, but no, that's the other guy.
Yeah, no, that's this. So
Or
this
the-
thing
or
is
the dad from Steam Boy.
this thing is 20 inches long, 9 inches high. We're not making obvious jokes here. I love this one
What's
shot.
on his face. That guy. You know exactly what's on his face. Mayonnaise.
I love this here, where it's just like let's put it in this like really fancy, like look at this archaeology enthusiast table. And
Bro, it just looks like a desk. It's a desk.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a candlestick. Sada, it's an archaeology. Sada, it's a desk.
But it has dirt and grime on it, damn it.
It's a desk.
Yep. Anyways, those look great. Yeah, let me I'll show off the Digimon things because I saw it mentioned in the chat. This is my filler news that was just in case we ran short on time.
Which is
which never happens. I don't know why
Yeah.
I need to have
Are these
that.
like nanoblocks? What are these?
Sembo Block. It's a Chinese company. They are getting apparently U.S. distribution. I'm assuming by the fact that this is like $20.
I guess they're meant to tie in with Venture 2020. I guess.
I guess.
Or whenever the dub comes out in 10 years.
I read it-
whenever it airs on Cartoon Network India or whatever.
Yeah. Apparently this is 13 centimeters tall. It's Zudomon with Joe.
I like the minifigs. They look very. I can't tell from like.
They look
from the
very
stream,
Mega
but
Blocksy.
I love and
I
also
would
hate
say,
them.
I would say more Creo. You know, they remind me of a lot of Creons.
Yep.
I like the fact that they're scaled for once.
Metal Greymon with Ty. Were Garurumon with Matt.
Okay, scale's off now. Scale's gone.
Oh, just the Garudamon's beautiful. Look how tiny Garudamon is. Garudamon with Sora.
My big hope is I'm hoping because
I saw somebody have the Metal Greymon already, and they said like the build quality is kind of weird.
Because when it comes to like I don't want to say like other brand brick companies, the quality can always be up and down with quality. Because like Mega
My
Bloks
favorite versus War Greymon, and then Ty and Matt are like Matt's just punching Ty. Like these pictures were taken by somebody that watched the show.
Yeah, someone who specifically loves the final arc of the show.
Yeah.
I definitely want to get them just to see how they are. Like,
and then there's the Skull Greymon fight too.
Wait, is there a Skull Greymon set?
There's a Skull Greymon set.
Oh my god, really? Wow.
Which Skull Greymon set is it though?
It's Skull Greymon versus Greymon.
Hey, we're getting the fact that we're getting all of the Greymon evolutions from like Ty in this is just
besides Agumon.
Yeah,
I guess
now you get Greymon, Metal Greymon, and War Greymon.
I can see them making the if they do another.
All you gotta do is just take Agumon from your Sabers PVC figures and you're complete. Come on, they already gave us the complete set. 15 years ago when Sabers came out.
I imagine that if they do make a Wave 2, they're probably gonna make the rookies minifigures. Probably.
I mean, we are also missing 4 kids because they double up Ty 3 times.
And Matt's.
Matt's doubled up. Sora's doubled up. The only way to get Joe is to get Zudomon.
I might buy this crappy line if they start making like all of the other ones. Like
if I see a Mega Kabuterimon, I'm probably in.
Again,
if they somehow get into a 0-2, I'm going.
Oh god.
Yeah,
0-2.
If as long as the quality is like almost like Creo or Mega Bloks or Mega Constructs, then I think it's fine because I know Lego's like of course the top of the quality of building block toys, but like if the quality is not like you sneeze on them and they break in half, then I'm fine. It's not like those best slot where like wherever company Hasbro team up with recently with the Power Rangers and G.I. Joe. Those are bad.
Those were real bad.
They're bad quality stuff. My god. But
I'm gonna put up the picture of the
Jerry, what was that thing Darkon or you told me the other day about Playmobil, and we were like all confused why some things collaborating with Playmobil?
Naruto? Are you talking about the Naruto Playmobil stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank
Must
you.
have been Darkon then.
Darkon brought it up to like me and Jerry, and they're like, they're making a Pain first, and me and Jerry were like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
me
they're
and
making
Jerry were-
Kakuzu even. Like they're
Yeah, we were like,
Oh
what?
boy.
okay. Hold
That
on.
is such a weird. Honestly,
Playmobil Naruto.
I'll say, like whenever
When you
like
think Playmobil, you think like maybe Disney stuff,
like
and that-
it's a British toy line.
but you think like little kid stuff or like Disney movies,
All
which
right.
sometimes are like Pirates of the Caribbean, but not like Naruto.
The Naruto lineup is Kakashi, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Kisame, Tobi, Hidan, Iruka, Tsunade, Shizune, Yamato, Kakuzu, Naruto, Six Paths mode, Madara, Minato, Guy, Rock Lee, Shikamaru, Gaara, Hinata, Suigetsu, Killer Bee,
Is it
Asuma,
Hinata?
and Pain.
That's like why is this
Ah,
like the
what?
best character
I let that go
selection?
because Hinata Pinata.
Why is
Sorry.
that like the best character selection for any Naruto toy line?
No, like
It's
legit, this is like
Playmobil.
the best character selection for any Naruto line ever. Period.
Hey
That's-
Jerry, you know why we rhyme her with pinata? Because people want to beat her like a pinata.
But still, it's just so weird that
I like that
Playmobil
Toby
all
comes with
come
this
to
weird
get the
ice cream
Naruto
thing.
license.
Yeah, like Playmobil got the Naruto license, and they were like, "Let's make all those characters no one wants to make, like Shikamaru."
I would say that
Even though Shikamaru is a more competent character than Naruto's
He's
own
really
way.
popular, and he never gets toys.
He's really the.
I like
He's
Shikamaru.
basically the Hokage in Shadows. I mean,
My
Yeah,
favorite part is with Shikamaru on top of that is that like Shikamaru and like Choji are Naruto's real best friends and not his like freaking distant cousin
Mhm.
brother thing.
Wait,
Sasuke.
does Sisu come with the pig?
yes, Shizune comes with the pig.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I
Actually,
gotta
you know what
say
I
that
hate?
like the only Playmobil I have is the big ass Enterprise for Star Trek.
Playmobiles are good. Like make some good sets. It's just I'm not a big fan of the Playmobil minifigs. It's always the problem. I would say looking at the Digimon semi-block stuff is if the quality is not. I
Oh
think
my
the
god, there
builds-
isn't an Itachi.
Really.
So wait, you're telling me that we're getting a Madara.
We're getting a wave
getting-
2, is what I'm telling you.
We're getting a Madara before an Itachi.
Yes.
well, there's a simple in-lore explanation for that.
Oh boy.
We're on his Genjutsu.
I would
Since
say,
it's Genji.
I would say looking at
Is this also the same universe where it has an extra clone in the
yeah, the Tournament
timeline where Gohan gets betrayed and left in the dead zone?
Oh, yeah, along with Goku in a time chamber.
I would say looking at the SEMA blocks Digimon stuff, honestly the builds themselves actually do look really good. There's some like really nice texturing on the builds. And also I think every time I see someone try to make a minifig anime, like any like anime character into minifig where official, unofficial, I think the Digimon SEMA block ones are some of the best ones. Probably because the faces don't look like squish or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because, like, of course, like with the Playmobil Naruto, so that's more just the whole Playmobil art style than anything.
Mm.
Hey guys,
I
should
love
pull a sound out.
Shikamaru's face. This is sending me.
I should pull a sound out right now, put a trailer on, blasting in the background, and not go on mute.
Ha.
Wait,
Shikamaru's face is like just sending me to a new reality.
I love that.
Jerry knows what I'm talking about. That time when he's like, "Oh, there's a new trailer. Let me go watch." And I'm like, "Sound out, go on mute." Sound out. I wasn't on mute. No, you just got to.
Yeah. You're like, oh, we all got copyright strict.
Hathaway hype was real.
Anyways, is there anything else to mention?
No, that's it. I mean, we've already derailed like 6 times. To say we were
It's
on
like
track
Naruto.
would be a lie because we were never on track. All right, let's wrap it up. Let's go.
Wrap this up.
Where can people find you, the man hosting the stream?
You can find me here. There will be videos this week. There were videos last week. Go watch the videos. They're great. This week you're getting an unboxing of some Silverhawks. So, anyways, Ryan, talk.
Follow me at DarkHorse643 on YouTube and Twitter. I do art images like the one you see right here on this very channel. You want one? Feel free to DM me on Twitter.
Cool. Jerry.
Well, you can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/FighterCals with Soundout12 12.
If you want to hear South Taco game news, check out the stream.
Check out
Yeah.
tomorrow's stream, 4 p.m. Twitch.tv/FighterCows.
Plus, I'll be awake then. Today I've been
Yes.
not awake because I had to wake up super early.
See, that guy gets it. He gets it.
Oh, by the way, at Twitch.tv/FighterCows at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Yep, 4 p.m. Eastern.
I'll be playing King of Fighters, but mainly we talk gaming news while King of Fighters is happening in the background. That's usually how it is, right, Soundout?
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. We usually just talk. Yeah, we talk about gaming stuff while playing King of Fighters.
Ah, crap! Did my Skype die?
No,
I
no.
think that
I just wasn't sure if I was like Tuesdays at 4 p.m. and Fridays at 4 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Fridays is Fate Grand Order. Except for this Friday, we're playing a fighting game.
where can you find
Soundout, we gotta pick a fighting game to play this Friday.
Oh yeah,
where
we
can
do.
people where can people find you, Wheels?
YouTube, Twitter, Wheelchair21. Channel will be back sometime this year, hopefully. And you can check out our awesome website at hero-club.com for all of our news and content and more. We have interviews on the site as well as our YouTube channel. You can follow Hero Club across social media using Hero Club for Life. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch.tv. Wednesdays and Fridays, we stream at 9 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday is the talk show, news show broadcast where we just talk about everything that's going on. And Fridays is like a gaming stream. So if you want to check that out, please do. And also check out, my affiliate links and Soundout's affiliate links with Hobbylink Japan because it helps to keep the lights on.
Yes.
We have lights?
We have lights and we do need to keep them on. All right, I think we're done.
We're not done.
Love doing these streams. See everybody next week. Have a good week, everybody. We're gonna have a good time. My brain's melting, so
You're welcome.
See y'all next week.